So, very good afternoon to everyone who's watching this podcast, powered by Students Technical and Innovation Club, Medi-Caps University. And I am Sarthak Sangamnerkar, your host for the day. And we'll be starting our podcast. And the name for the podcast is The Career Drive. And we'll be discussing a lot about intensive placement and how it's done, basically. So, it's going to be thrilling, it's going to be quite exciting. I want you all to enjoy the video and the podcast. So for today, our first guest speaker, which we have, is Miss Ishita Goyal, ma'am. So first of all, I'd like to invite you on this virtual stage, ma'am. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
It really is a pleasure to have you here on our first podcast, ma'am. So really thank you for coming.
Likewise, the feeling is mutual, Sarthak. Thank you so much.
So first of all, ma'am, congratulations because you've been placed with such a great venture, Goldman Sachs.
Thank you so much.
And Ishita ma'am, she's a really humble person, and she has been into various internships, and she has a lot of work expo even before actually starting to work. So it's really a privilege to have you here on our first podcast, ma'am.
You are being too modest, Sarthak. Thank you so much.
So first of all, ma'am, to all our viewers, I mean, they have this definite one question that how do you feel about being placed? What is that feeling? Because it's really a big achievement as far as the college is concerned. So how do you feel?
Okay. Yeah, the feeling is indeed great. Like it still feel like a dream. Like okay, like every time I think I have to pause for a second. Okay, am I really placed? Yeah, I'm placed. Okay. So it really feels like a dream till now. But yeah, it indeed is a great feeling. But I couldn't have
Right,
achieved it if it is not because of like my parents, my friends. There were so many people behind this. So yeah, I'd like to thank all of them.
right. And one definite question is that do you or are you gonna miss the college life? Because everyone loves to be in college, right? But now you are transitioning
Exactly.
to another state. So would you like
Actually,
to tell us
I'm
about your
missing.
college experience?
Sure. I'm missing my college life right now. Like my college life was too short.
Right,
It was just 1.5 years or something due to this COVID pandemic. So then we are at
right.
home since then, and I don't think like this last semester would be my internship. So I don't think I'll return to
Hmm.
college. I'll just visit there for 2 or 3 days maybe to get the degree and convocation. So I'm definitely gonna miss it. It was really, college is like a great experience and quite different one. We are far from the
Right.
home. We're living by our own from for the first time, and we have to
Exactly.
be a bit responsible also to take care of everything we need, and we have to think about our career also. So it is indeed what to say a great change in our life from school. Like till school, it is one part, and college is like entirely different. So I'm definitely gonna miss it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, during these COVID times, a lot of people saw this opportunity as positive, or rather, I should not use the word positive because it's the most negative word. So instead, we will use the word optimistic instead. So,
Yeah.
do you also see this thing in an optimistic manner? Like people got to learn latest technology and stuff.
Okay. Like the pandemic is like a curse for so many, like most of the people. But if we think in
Right.
it in an optimistic way, we got a lot of time at home, like especially for us college students. We do not have anything,
Hmm.
we don't have any responsibilities or anything like that, right? We just have to study and we just have to prepare or we just have to think about our career, right? So
Right.
if it think it in this way, it could be a positive thing, right? Because when I was in college, we have to daily go to the college, and our college time it's too long,
True.
and then the conveyance, like the
Right.
traveling time and everything. Like so, yeah, it really gave us a lot of time to study, to prepare for ourselves, to explore different technologies. So I was
Right.
also not at all prepared till March 2020. Like when I was in
Okay.
Indore, when I was in college. But when I returned from Indore to the home because of this pandemic thing, then I got a lot of time to explore different technologies. Then I learned web development here only. I learned computer programming here only, and I got to know about these drives.
Okay.
And so yeah, it really provided a lot of time to learn these many technologies, these many things, to explore these many things. So it can be think of like can be considered as a positive say, for students,
Right,
for
right.
only college life students. Yeah.
Those are really inspiring words for those who are watching this video and podcast right now. So, a lot of people actually say that engineering is just like a piece of cake, and you can just you pass it without even studying about it. But as a student, only we know that we actually have to study the college material in order to pass our examinations. So,
True.
you have been a student as well. So, I mean, how have you balanced the learning skills part and the college study part?
Okay. See, these both things are actually, linked together, with each other. Like in the college, we are taught the basics. Like the theory part, we are already taught in the college, like for every subject, like
Right.
DBMS, OS, hoops, and basic programming
Hmm.
also. And to get placed, we need to do a little bit extra. We need to go little bit extra apart from what we learned from the college. So our journey actually starts in college. What we are taught in the lectures, right? You just have to
Yes.
start from there, and grab more and more, explore
Okay.
more and more. So actually college helped us. It's not about balancing these things. These two are linked with each other, right? So if you are
Hmm.
preparing for any placement or any company, you anyway have to subject, you anyway should have the knowledge of these subjects, right? Theory subjects also, they ask in
Right.
managerial or
Exactly.
in theory subjects. So you should you anyway have to prepare these subjects. So it's actually beneficial that you already have a little bit of knowledge from your lectures. So that's how you manage. Like they both are dependent on each other. So it's not at all different.
So, in a
Yeah.
way, you see learning skills and college studies a part of each other, if we were to
Yeah.
sum up
Like
it that way.
in the college we are taught about these subjects, right? So we
Hmm.
in the college we are having a bit of knowledge. Then we just have to start from there and learn more and more. So yeah, that's
Right.
it.
Also, there is also a question, like it is also my personal question to you,
Okay, go
that
on.
when did you start learning all this stuff, and when did you exactly get to know that I want to do coding, or I want to do competitive coding specifically?
Okay.
Because sometimes
So
we it takes a bit longer to figure out what exactly you want, right?
yeah, it's indeed a like great confusing question. Like even I was also
Right.
confused. Like, should I start with the coding? Should I go with the development? Should I go with AI, ML? There are a lot of technologies in our field, lot of fields which we can choose, lot of fields which we can opt for our career, right? So, but in my second year, I had plenty of time. Like second year, we are all free. Like in second year, we are
Right.
familiar with the college, like how we have to study, how we have to pass exams. In first year, we're all novice. We have to, we get to know a lot of many people. Our life completely changed. So first year, we are a bit nervous, or we can say a bit naive. But in the second year, we are used to everything. Like in the second year, even if we have exam tomorrow, we still have a 2 or 3 hours time to do whatever we like, and then we can study and give the exams, right? So in the second year, I was familiar with everything. So I was quite free in my second year, and I was also
Okay.
started to live with my sister. She's also in the same field, and she's elder than me.
Okay.
So she already had a lot of more knowledge, a lot of exposure more. So then I
Right.
got to know about her from her friends and her that okay, there is this thing called competitive programming, and there are certain platforms, there are certain websites on which you can prepare, on which you can give contest to get better at these skills. So some of like I started basically with the code chef. It's basically a platform which
Okay.
on where you can give contests, practice competitive coding, practice basic DSA questions. Like it's a great platform. So I started from there, and then initial stage is like really what to say disappointing. Like you practice, but your rating or the score keeps on decreasing. Like it's too
It becomes hard
fluctuating.
to cope.
Sometimes it's here, sometimes it's here. So like it's too disappointing
Right. Right.
what is happening. But yeah, you have to be consistent. Uh, and in like it's easy. Like it's easier for you if you start early. Like I started second year exploring things.
Okay.
Like in second year only I got to know about competitive coding. But I'm not saying I was like a proficient in competitive coding in second year only. I just started with it. Okay, so I got to know that okay, there exists this thing that I can practice, that I can learn from, and then
Right. Right.
I think after the second year I got to know about web development, and then in my third year I actually prepared all these things. So you can say I started rigorously in third year, but I had an idea. Okay, there is this thing exists in second year. So that is all.
Okay. So, following this question, a lot of people also ask that, is there a specific time to start coding? That someone says you should start in first year, someone says you should start in third year.
Okay,
And
there is
so,
no. Yeah, sorry, I interrupted. Go
yeah,
on.
yeah. So is there a particular time that is the perfectly suited time for starting coding?
Okay. I don't think there is like a specific time. Like if you haven't started in first year, you cannot do anything. There is no such thing like that. Even if you start in fourth year, then also you can get placed in a good company. It's upon you, like how much time you spend, how much time you devote to it, how much dedicated you are. Okay, sometimes I have also done this. Like I'm coding, but I'm listening songs in the background. I'm talking to someone. Like I'm talking to my sister. Then it is like then if I'm coding or like if I'm practicing for 2 hours, then it's considered to be one because half of the time I'm doing
Okay.
other stuff, right? So it's considered like how much devoted you are, how much time you're able to devote to this thing that you want to achieve in a day. Like some
Right.
students can give 5 hours, some students can give 10, and some are there like 12 too. Okay, so it depends upon you, like how much you are willing to give, and it depends upon like how much you have practiced earlier. Like it's not just that time that you're learning during the previous, like in the school also, we are taught basic math. So it depends how much previous knowledge you have and how much time you're devoting to it. So it's no, like I don't think, like it's my personal opinion. I don't think if you start early, then only you can
Mhm.
achieve success. Even if you start late, but you are determined enough, you're confident enough that you'll do it, then you can do it. So yeah,
Okay. So the two key factors to be taken from your answer are consistency and practice, more and more.
exactly.
Right, right, right. So my next question is that, how did you spend your STEM breaks, and did you complete any of those courses which are available online on various platforms these days, right?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, there are
So
plenty of
yeah.
resources. But I was basically like I am based from Neemuch. Okay, I live in Neemuch. My hometown is
Okay.
Neemuch. So and I'm really like whenever there is a 2 or 3 days break, I just run away from Indore to Neemuch because like
Okay.
I really miss too much. Like I live in a I have live in a I live in a joint family till now. So I have this habit of living with so many people around me, and sometimes you are lonely in
Exactly.
hostel, right? I have a lot of friends, but sometimes we need family. So whenever there is some break or
True.
even festive breaks or like anything like that, I just come back to Neemuch. And then when you're at home, when you're coming from home after a long time, then there are so many
Mm.
people visiting you asking, okay, how is this? How is this? So there is a lot of time waste in that, we can say. So I don't think I utilize my sem break very efficiently.
Okay.
uh, yeah, I enjoyed my sem breaks too. But during the semester only, we get plenty of time. You know, even when we go to college, we have plenty of time there also.
Hmm.
So that time I
Yes.
utilized more. And about courses, I didn't go for any of the particular courses. I just read
Okay.
many articles on Geeks for Geeks, interview bits. Also, I practiced some coding
Right.
questions. I read on CP coders and CP algorithms.
There
Sorry,
are plenty of
I
resources available these days.
yeah, exactly. So I just followed those resources, like bits from there,
Okay.
something from there, something from there. No particular course at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, you have also been a part of the Students Technical and Innovation Club. So, what all did you get to learn from there, and how was your experience working with the club?
Okay. I also worked with this club in my third year. I was the competitive program and technical head. And
Yes.
it was a great experience. I got to learn a lot of things from this club. Like I took a few webinars, so it gave me enormous amount of confidence as to how to speak confidently in front of so many people. And I
Mhm.
also solved doubts of my juniors. So when you actually solve doubts of other people, you got to learn a lot of things from that also. And also it enhanced my connections. Like I got to know about so many people. It connected me to them.
Okay.
Yeah, and I explored more, opportunities as well. Like in the club, they are hosting some, like we tried to host a contest also. So I got to, create a problem statement. It was also a great experience. If it had not been for STIC, I don't think I would like go explicitly and create a problem statement for any contest, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, it gave me a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge too in the CP field only, and connection also. So it was really a great experience to be part of STIC.
Wow. That would really feel like really appealing to everyone who is not a part of STIC yet, because it really helps. Being a member myself, I can feel it.
Yeah.
And also, ma'am, what languages, if we were to switch to a little bit technical background, so what languages did you learn? And since you are already in the industry right now, so what do you think is the most preferred language in industry? And does it really play an important role?
Okay. So as far as
Yeah.
language is concerned, for getting placed in a particular company, I don't think that tech giants or like 80% of the companies don't consider around not language specific because let's say I know C++, Java, and Python, but my company
Okay.
uses C sharp. Then eventually I had to learn that. I will have to learn that, right? So you cannot learn all the languages in your college. Uh, and most of the
Exactly.
companies, like 80%, I can say 90% of the companies are not language specific at all. Like what from
Okay.
like for all companies I sat for, like I prepared, I interviewed with, they are not
Hmm.
like I haven't seen any one company language specific. And even if they are, they'll give you
Okay.
2 or 3 choices. Like you have to choose between Java, Python, and C++. So it's like that, not just a specific language that if you're a Java coder, then only come to us, otherwise go. There's no such rule like that. So I don't think
Okay.
any language is company specific. You should choose language like by your own, like your own understanding, your own by your own
Hmm.
like taste. Basically, I want to say because in my 11th class only I started with C++. It was in our school. Like it was a part of our
Okay.
course.
That's been quite a long.
So
That's been quite a long.
yeah, that's why I don't want to switch. Like I was too confident in C++, and I don't want to switch. Like that time also, like, so there were so many people saying like Python is trending, AI, it's used in AI, ML, data science,
Right. Right.
everything. Like
We
and
had
even
that
now,
everywhere.
yeah, it's like everybody's saying that Python, Python, Python nowadays. But like if your company is performing in Python, then you'll eventually have to learn it, right? And you cannot learn every
Hmm.
languages. So I just stuck with C++, and yeah, I cracked the internship offer from C++ only. So it's not at all like language specific. So just go ahead with
So instead
whatever
of
you
being
feel for.
language proficient, you need to be logically proficient.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you have like good understanding of one language, then within 10 or 15
Mhm.
days you can learn a different language because the concepts are basically same. It's just syntax. So
Right. Right.
you can learn it. Yeah.
Right. So the next question we have is, how did you prepare yourself for internships? And what skills do we exactly need to build a strong resume so that it stands out and it actually we feel like it makes a difference, you know?
Yeah, it does. It indeed does. Okay. So like what are the skills I prepared for cracking this internship? Like I basically I had this company in my mind. Like I gave twice. I applied internship twice. First time I was rejected. So I basically when
Okay.
I was rejected, I basically knew the procedure. Okay, first this happens, then this, and this. So I basically had an idea. I have to prepare all these things. Okay. So I basically had everything in my mind. Okay, first I need to prepare for aptitude. Like especially I'm talking about GS. Like it asks
Yes.
aptitude in the first round, and then technical round it asks everything. Like everything you have learned in the college. It asks basic programming, advanced programming. It considers your CGPA too. Not all company does, but it does. And then it considers
Okay.
aptitude, probability, and logical reasoning. It has an HR subjective type question also, and computer fundamental question also. So it basically covers everything. You basically have to well versed with every concept. You cannot be rusty in one. So
So
I
basically, it's
basically,
just a mega exam of the process you have gone through in all those 4 years and earlier
yeah,
than that.
yeah, but like I'm talking specifically about GS. Not all companies ask for all these skills. Like
Okay.
GS is basically a finance company, right? You all knew
Hmm.
it already. So
Yes.
it asks a candidate to have strong aptitude skills too for getting placed apart from coding. That's why like
Okay.
aptitude part is like really tricky here. But not all companies consider this aptitude part. So that is.
Okay. So if you were to rate a difficulty level of the interview process or the internship process on a scale of 10, how much would you rate it as a difficulty level?
Okay.
Or is that even
Like
relevant?
I don't think it's relevant. Like if
Okay.
let's say if I'm told to write counting from 1 to 10, and if I'm told to write prime numbers, like top 10 prime numbers, then I'll obviously write 1 to 10 counting very easily, and I'll say it's 10 on
Right.
10 because I knew it. Uh, I knew it accurately. Okay,
Of course.
but with prime numbers, I have to think first, right? and I'll take more time and I'll think it's more difficult. But it's not at all difficult. Like first time finding number, anybody can write. But because I'm comparing these two things, right? So it's basically dependent on candidate to candidate. Like what all things have you prepared and what all exposures you already had previously. Like okay, if you have interviewed with GS, then if you interview with another company who has whose interviews like let's say GS has 3 rounds and the other company has 2 rounds, then you'll say this other company is basically easy and then you'll rate it 10. Okay, this is like really easy. Why? Because you have compared it with previous one. So it basically depends on person to person. Like it's not relevant. But yeah, if I still have to rate it, then I would say the written rounds and the technical rounds are comparatively what to say 2 times tougher than the interviews. Like interviews are like really piece of cake if you compare it to the technical test. So,
Yeah, so it's an individual's concern, as they say.
yeah, like how much prepared you are, how much exposure have you had. So it basically all depends on that.
Yeah. Some students, I mean, most of them, we don't even know what CGPA, if CGPA plays a role in getting placed. So usually most of the students, we don't pay attention to the CGPA which is going on, So how important is the role of CGPA in landing you an internship or placement offer?
Okay, like if we talk generally, like not explicitly about GS, then not every company, has an important role of CGPA, but it does have a criteria that you should not have a backlogs. You should not have backlogs, and the CGPA should be above 7.58 or 8.5. Basically, it's the usual thing. And if you maintain a good CGPA, then you'll know the theoretical part, or like the theory subjects will be strong already. Then you just have to prepare for the coding, for the placement, right? So it's healthy to maintain a good CGPA, right? So I would say, like, do not give your entire time to the college preparation, college exam preparation, but give plenty of time so that you don't have to suffer because of it in your placements. So, yeah. I hope it does answer, like it answers your question well.
Of course, perfectly.
Okay, great.
Also, when you were a part of this internship project, so what perks did you exactly get through completing the internship?
Okay, perks.
Not in materialistic terms, but in terms of learning, in terms of,
yeah, I
what
got
all
your
to take.
question. Okay, so I had a lot of takeaways from the internship. First of all, great many connections. Like now I know really good people. Like if I have to ask something from them, like I interacted with 10 to 15 year experienced person, right? And that too, like they had experience in various companies. So I have a strong connections. Like I have my manager and my project supervisor, my buddy. Everybody is in contact with me now. So I have this great connections, and then I got to know how to work in a professional setting, right? Like joined the daily scrum meetings, like daily meetings, daily stand-up calls. I got to know how to we are in the college, everything is different. Even if you're joining a meeting, it's different. When we talk about the professional, when we talk about the every stand-up call, daily team stand-up call, then it's entirely different. And so I attended how they are solving issues. Like in some of the teams, some of our team meetings, I was just there. Like I wasn't speaking, but I was observing. I was like gaining so much knowledge from them. Like there was a production bug, release bug from there, and they were discussing that. So I do not have any background on that. I do not have any knowledge on that. But still, I got to know how a team actually works. Okay, somebody saying that he or she has this issue, then everybody is jumping in between, meddling in to solve the issue. And I got to know, okay, what all possible solutions could be there whenever you face a certain kind of issue. So like I got to know about I got to build certain good connections. I got to know about this production bugs, and then in this like my internship was quite short. It was just 6 weeks, and I was still able to work on. I was still able to complete my project. That too a real world project. In our college life, we are just creating small projects, and in that too we take a lot of time, sometimes more than 2 months, right? But in those 6 weeks, like I had too much pressure. Like no, I'm not blaming the company that I was pressurized. I was saying, okay, I had this thing in my mind that I have to. Yeah, we are not used to it. And the second thing is the language was different. As I told, I practiced C++ in my college, and for development I chose Python, Django. Okay, but in my internship I had to work in Java, so it was like really different.
That's far.
But yeah, like it's too different. But with all the people support, like everybody was there to help me. You just have to ask for help, and everybody is available. So I
Okay.
learned a lot of technical skills also, presentation skills also. So I think I learned a lot of things. Even I think I'm forgetting some of them. I learned so many things from them that I'm not sure I've missed all of them. So yeah, it was really a great learning experience.
Yeah, I can get you. I mean, there might be a list you need to frame down to actually
Exactly.
express yourself, to actually
Yeah,
express yourself in whole terms, and even the list would fall small.
yeah. And also I got a lot of goodies. So it's like really
Okay.
exciting to get a lot of gifts from companies. So yeah, it's also great because
Right.
yeah,
Ma'am, sometimes when we code and when we do the study stuff, we need to relax our mind for a while, and we need to get away from where our head is. So
exactly.
for some people, or I should say for almost everyone, they tend to listen to songs. So what's
Yeah.
that song which has always been with you throughout your college life, and that's your favorite song, in a way?
Okay. So like there's this one song, like I used to listen this before every single interview. I remember every single interview I gave in my life. It's Unstoppable. It's by
Okay.
Sia. Like it's really inspiring, and it just boosts up my confidence every time, every single time I listen to it. So yeah, that is one song which is it has been with me since so long.
Okay. So that proves the point that music really helps
It does really does.
to soothe your mind, and
Exactly.
now moving to the last section of our today's podcast, man. We would like you to give your advice or suggestions to everyone who's listening this or watching this. So what would be those specific key points which you would like everyone to listen to?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for asking that. Okay, like everybody is confused, and like so many people are telling you do this, do this, do this. Don't listen to them. You know your path. You know you can do it. Just go ahead with it. Start today. Otherwise, you'll regret it. Like otherwise, you'll regret it a year later. कि काश इस दिन start किया होता, काश उस time start किया होता. So start today, and you know you can do it, right? You have all the resources. You have everything you need to know. So just start today and be consistent, be confident, and that's it. You can do it.
It really felt so inspiring and motivating to talk to you, ma'am. And we got to learn really new things to look forward to. And I mean, I really believe that our podcast and these talks can inspire a lot of students as well.
Thank you so much, Sarthak. It was really interesting. Like your questions were really interesting enough, and yeah, I like
Thank,
to share my experience. It refreshed my internship memory too much. So yeah, I really liked interacting with you. It was a good session. Thank you.
thank you so much for coming, ma'am. And
Thank you
with
so
this,
much.
we come to an end of our first podcast. And to all those viewers and listeners who are watching us right now, please do check out STIC's official pages on Instagram. We are also up on Twitter, and keep up with the latest updates. And if you're still not a part of STIC, feel free to contact.